Here's a happy couple right here. You know what? I will indeed be your best man.
Turns out, I'm going to be his best man.
So it almost didn't happen. This is what I got. It says, Cody, will you be my best man? And when I got to the front, they told me my sign was too big and that I had to throw it away. So I folded it up, and as I was going to throw it away, when the security guards came up and said, no, you can use it. It's fine.
After he gets out of the ring, does he come over to your seat? What goes on after the show, after the TikTok goes off?
So after he agrees to be my best man, he actually pulls us inside the barricade and talks to us there. He signed the sign. The funniest part is I had a two-part sign. On the back it said RKO. On the other side it was a question for Cody. He signed off on the RKO one without reading it, and then he signed the other side when he noticed it. But he talked to me. He said, "Hey, weekends don't work for me. Could it be possibly on a weekday?" So we said, "Yeah, we could work that out." And he said that he was excited to do it. So, man, it's the best thing that's happened so far.
So he's reached out for details. Have you given him the date and everything? Are you all set up? How's that going? Without giving too much detail, is all that taken care of?
Oh yeah, his agent reached out to me today at around noon and actually asked when the date was and everything like that. And our wedding will be, a year from now to save up money and make sure we can cover all expenses. And I thought it was a perfect opportunity to ask him because I know he's a busy guy. So if I ask him a year in advance, he might be able to actually show up. So our date right now is May 23rd, 2025.
The look on your face in the videos, a little nervous. What's your first thought when he recognizes the sign? And you thought, when did you start thinking this might actually be a possibility?
So he reached over and grabbed the microphone to cut a promo, and it's just a local thing. I didn't think he was going to make a big deal out of it. And he said, I see the most unique sign I've ever seen. And my fiance looked at me and she said, babe, he's talking about us. And I got goosebumps going down my back. I said, there's no way. And he turned and he pointed at my sign and said, it says, Cody, will you be my best man? And in that moment, I just froze. I was speechless. I didn't know what to do. He has started trying to break the ice by asking a couple of silly questions, like, have you been a felon? Things like that, And just the entire time, I was shaking. I was shaking real bad. I was almost as nervous as when I proposed.
Wow. So at what point did you realize he was serious?
When he actually got the audience to help him make a decision. When he was walking around the ring and he said, should I say yes? Should I say no? What should I do? And everyone kept yelling yes. And he said, I can't hear you. And they kept yelling and yelling and yelling. He pointed at my sign and said, I will indeed be your best man. And whenever he said it like that, it seemed so formal and so professional to where I melted, man. I don't know if you've seen the part where I kind of fell to my knees, got really excited, and turned around and hugged and gave my fiance a kiss, But it was just full of emotion that night.
So I saw where you hugged your fiance. Are you saying anything in that picture where you're hugging her?
Her and I have been through some pretty rough times together. I've been in and out of jobs for the past year or two now. It's just temporary service, seasonal, and I can't seem to stay buckled down anywhere. And she came home one day and said, "Hey, I got an early Christmas gift for you." And this was, I believe, in November. And she showed me that she bought 2 tickets to go see this upcoming event. And when I hugged her, I didn't know what to say. But when I got home, I told her, I said, if it wasn't for you getting those tickets, I wouldn't have met my hero.
Wow.
It's just everything good about me is all because of her. So it's like they always say, every successful man has a woman behind him, It just turns out that I might have one of the best women I've ever met.
Wow. So you're obviously a big Cody Rhodes wrestling fan, but what's your situation with WWE?
So my very first match I ever watched, I was 8 years old, and Cody Rhodes at the time was known as Dashing Cody Rhodes. And I remember seeing him face off against Dolph Ziggler on, I believe, Raw or SmackDown a long time ago, And I kind of just like fell in love with the character that he was portraying. And my mom, she was a big Dusty Rhodes fan. So she would sit down and watch it with me, and she would explain, oh, Dusty has done this, he's done that. She was like, oh, I can't wait to see what his career turns out to be. And believe it or not, I hated Cody Rhodes at one point. When he was Stardust, hated the dude. Couldn't stand him. But when he came back, it felt right. It felt like the energy came back to the WWE that's been missing for years. And he engulfed the entire wrestling arena when he came back. And it was crazy. My favorite wrestler of all time is The Undertaker. I just I loved him ever since I was little. Saw him fight Brock Lesnar. Cried when he lost to Brock Lesnar. It's probably like, man, I don't know, hate to admit it, like 10, 11, I think at the time. But yeah, current wrestler, I'm gonna have to go Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is the GOAT so far. He's out here actually making dreams come true, and he's trying to finish his story, and I can respect that.
Have you TikTok yourself and seen people talking about you? You're out there right now. Have you searched yourself online and watched some of the videos?
I'd be a liar if I said I haven't, Brandon. I've looked myself up quite a few times just to see what's going on. And I've had the biggest following so far off the one video that I posted, where I went to sleep last night and I had 120 followers on TikTok. Woke up to almost 3 times that amount, and it's still going. I'm over at 750, I believe, right now, and it's growing. All the comments have been fairly nice. There was one that was a little rude, but I'm too happy to let it, ruin my light. So I just told him, hey, have a nice day.
I did see one guy who said he thought it was weird, but that's what you're going to get with social media. You're going to have some positive and some negative. You got to block that stuff out, man.
Like I told my fiance earlier, I said, you know what? I might not have a lot right now, but to me, this is the world. I have a woman to come home to every day. And you know what? I got probably the best man for being the best man.
You got a good life right now, bro. Is anybody upset family wise? Is there a father or brother, anybody that was maybe going to be that best man that got replaced, or was that nothing settled there yet?
Yeah, okay. So actually, I've had this question a few times from a couple different people. So my childhood best friend, his name's David. He was gonna be my best man, and I made a joke to him one day when we were hanging out. And I said, if I asked Cody Rhodes to be my best man, like, what would you do? If he said, yeah, my buddy David looked at me and said, dude, if you asked me to be your best man, he said, yes, I'll gladly step down. He supported it 100%. He was actually the first person to message me as soon as I posted the video, and he's like, man, you lucky SOB.
The story's insane. So when did you realize that you were kind of going viral? Was it after the show, when you got home in the car? When did you first start seeing your name on TikTok?
It was actually this morning when I first saw anything big about me being online. Last night Cody Rhodes, there was an intermission. So it was Cody Rhodes versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Then an intermission hit, and as I'm walking to the restroom, people are stopping me, congratulating me, shaking my hand, taking pictures with me. It was a magical moment to see a whole community come together for one cause.
What's your fiance's name?
Her name's Jordan.
And what has she said about the whole show? Is she a wrestling fan too?
She wasn't before me, but she watches it on occasion with me. But she loves Cody. She said that without, me introducing him to her, she wouldn't be really caring about wrestling. The only reason she really likes Cody is because he wins without cheating. She gets tired of seeing this Roman Reigns dude coming out with all of his siblings and, cousins and all that. And she really respects Cody and thinks he's a good guy. And I told her my idea, and she said, do it.
You may, in a year's time, you legitimately have a chance of having not just Cody Rhodes, you might have a world champion as your best man. That's a possibility of that happening right now.
That's crazy to really think about, that he might be world champion during the wedding. That's heavy.
If that's the case, do you let him bring the belts?
Oh yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, man, your story is incredible. It really goes to show the power of just putting yourself out there, trying because a lot of people wouldn't have done what you did. A lot of people thought, I'm not going to do something like that. You didn't mind a bit to put yourself out there, and then social media picked it up and carried it away, man. So how has your life changed in the last 24 hours, 12 hours even?
Oh yeah, honestly, just when I got home, I felt like my mood was a little bit better as well. I felt like I was really down recently, and just having such a big name come up to me and actually congratulate me and tell me that I'm doing good made me feel like I was on top of the world for a bit. And just seeing the comments flowing in, I had a very bad case of the world being bad. You know, I've always thought that people were evil, and I didn't like humanity. I felt humanity might have like fallen off a bit. But after posting the video and seeing about all the positive comments to negative comments ratio, there was only one negative comment out of the hundreds that I've been getting, and it's restored my faith in humanity a little bit. When you finally get to see how people are when there's no cameras around, like recording him to put on TV, you truthfully get to see how people are. Because as soon as it was intermission, Cody Rhodes was the only man out there signing autographs, hugging kids, and just being a good guy in general.
Well, Anthony, thank you so much, man. I appreciate your time. That's incredible story.
Thank you. Of course, it was an honor to be on your show.
No, thanks, man.